Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Brunswick's Best, where Lance takes a look at the best players in Minnesota Vikings history. This week, spotlighting those who wear number 5 for the purple. So, who you got for us on that list this week, Lance?
Well, I got one player, and that's Donovan McNabb, the greatest player to ever play for the Minnesota Vikings.
The best dirt farmer and worm killer that you could find.
I'm just kidding. I don't blame you for cutting me off there. That was horrible. Horrible, man.
Terrible.
Horrible.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Terrible. God, McNabb, why did you even come here? Why did we even bring him here? We were idiots.
Because Les Frazier knew that Ponder wasn't going to be ready to start.
Downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick it to the man.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay. All right, let's get serious, people. This next one might bring some clear. What?
I said getting serious would be a first for this show, but yeah, go ahead.
Right. Now, this next player that wore number 5 might bring some tears to some people's eyes, and I apologize for that, but it's just something that needs to be talked about, and I'm glad we can talk about that here on Brunswick's Best with this week's first player, Teddy Bridgewater. Now, Teddy was the 32nd pick in the first round in the 2014 draft. You know, he was one of those guys that was projected to go number 1 there for a while. If I remember correctly right now, he was the number 1 guy on a lot of people's list.
Mm-hmm. And then he blew his pro day.
Right, until his pro day or the combine where he just stunk it up, yeah. He decided to take the gloves off and just couldn't throw. So, that being said, he put the gloves back on and never came off again. So, he was a 32nd pick in the 2014 draft. He essentially had fallen right into our laps after trading up to get him with that pick. At least as fans, that's how it all felt. I felt to a lot of us at that time. That we're like, oh man, the consensus overall number 1 guy that started out this offseason and then he falls through our laps at number 32. What better could happen? Now, with that being said, in his first 2 years in Minnesota, they were pretty exciting. It was on the up and up. He had in his 2 years for Minnesota had a 64% completion percentage. He threw for 6,150 yards to go with 28 touchdowns and 22 interceptions, and also had 94 rushes for 398 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, after his first 2 years in the league, we're all like, okay, Teddy is ready to take that next step, to elevate his game to that next level, to take that another push in his progression and the way that he was developing. And then the end of the 2017 training camp came and smacked us all in our face. And he had a freak knee injury that had him questioning the future of his career. And
they were even questioning if they were going to be able to save the leg there for a little.
Right. Now, a lot of us, I would have to say most of us Vikings fans were so optimistic going into that 2017 season. With Bridgewater, you know, seeing where he was going to, if he was going to start taking this team on his shoulders and elevating those around him, and, you know, being that true franchise quarterback that we thought we might have had in Bridgewater. But that freak injury happened, which opened the door for Bradford to come in. No?
That was 2016 though. Because then Bradford went down in 17, then Keenum took over.
Gotcha. Okay, a little back and forth there. So 2016 is when this freak knee injury. I apologize and forgive me for that mistake, mental error. But so yeah, that 2016 season, Bridgewater went down. Bradford. So I had it right. I was just the wrong seasons. Mm-hmm. Bradford came in and lit it up for the first 8 weeks of the season, and then stunk it up. I think we lost how many games in a row that year?
Didn't we go like 8-0 and then finish like 2-6 at the end of the season? Or
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It was ugly, but missed the playoffs. Went into the next year with Bradford at the helm, lit it up against New Orleans, and the Case Keenum story was written there that year. So, Teddy, you were loved by fans. You're still loved by fans for anywhere you go. Just as a player in general, the players respect you. The fans love you. You're a great team guy, great locker room guy. I wish I could have seen the other path in the alternate universe to seeing what would have happened if we would have kept you here. That would have been a great thing to watch as well, I believe. But with that being said, that little bit of hope that you gave us in those 2 years that you played for us and did what you did, you made the list this week for Brunswick's best.
Great kid too. Nice smile. Everything else.
Yeah, a little running joke around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, how much he could have improved. Grant, I did not like the 28 touchdowns and 22 interceptions, and then he had a questionable long ball too, as well. Yeah. But like you said, he's a great kid, had a great smile, great locker room guy, and a lot of people did like to play for him. So, and just that core of guys that was here with Bridgewater was here, they were all kind of growing together too. And as fans, we were kind of growing with that core of guys. Yeah. And just the guy that happened to go down happened to be the leader of the entire team. And that sucks, but shit happens. So, anyways, moving along to Mr. Big Time. Mr. Big Time might be one of the greatest Vikings to ever play and lace them up. That is none other than Mr. Chris Kluwe. Now, Kluwe was in Seattle before he came here, trying out, see what he could do. And he ended up in Minnesota to start the 2005 season. Now, prior to this, Minnesota had some questionable punting, to say the least. We had some horrible punters here. From the time that Berger left until the time that Kluwe came in, it was just silly on special teams at the punting position. So, Kluwe came in Minnesota to start the 2005 season. Kluwe would go on to punt for the Purple and Gold for the next 8 years, leaving the team after the 2012 season, well, more or less being released or cut or whatever. But Kluwe had a fairly above-average career with the team, spending the entirety of his career with the team, and also being a punter and was beloved by a lot of the fans. Kluwe was known for his nerdy, geeky type of personality. He played a lot of Warcraft, played Guitar Hero, and was really, really good at it. He wrote books. I think he had his own band too, which I think I touch on later on here. But lost my spot here. He was actually, and I was surprised by this, he was a PFWA all-rookie team as a punter his first year in the league. He is a Minnesota Viking all-Mall of American field team. He played 128. Here it is again, dude. I don't know. Something's in here messing with my lips and my tongue tonight.
That's what she said.
Because this is 2 weeks in a row. Why is Brunswick wearing the same clothes? You'll never know.
His washing machine's broke down.
Right. Yep. But he actually played 127 games for the team, landing 198 punts inside the 20-yard line, which is pretty damn good. His punting yard average of 44.4, while averaging a net of 37 yards a punt, which is about average. Your net is obviously after the punt has been returned. For all of those rookie fans out there.
Yes.
He played the final 3 games of the 2005 season, so he played the final 3 games of his rookie year with a torn ACL in his kicking leg. Did you know that, Rhino?
I did not know that. No, I did not.
Played the last 3 games of his rookie season with a torn ACL with the leg that he used to punt the ball. Fuck that. I've torn my ACL. I couldn't even imagine. So, which then prompted then coach Mike Tice to reply to a reporter's question about Kluwe's injury. And to that, Tice said, "My punter's a tough guy." As Tice was not known to be sympathetic towards punters and kickers. This showed the amount of respect that Tice had for Kluwe's willingness to play the game with a serious injury at that position. In 2000, there's even more crazy shit that I'm about to get to here, fellas. So hold on, strap in. In 2011, Kluwe changed his jersey number when the Vikings acquired the greatest player in Vikings history, Donovan McNabb. Woo! McNabb had previously worn number 5 for the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles, and requested the same number when he arrived in Minnesota, which was then being worn by none other than Chris Kluwe. Kluwe agreed on the condition that McNabb make a $5,000 donation to charity to mention his band, Tripping Icarus, a total of 5 times during press conferences, and to buy him an ice cream cone. Kluwe reclaimed his old number 5 for the 2012 season, and McDab.
Well, that too.
What he's doing now, McDabbing it up. but not that dab. But yes, give me that too. McNabb did mention Kluwe's band 3 times, that fucking asshole. 3 times. And did write the check for the donation, but took 5 years to buy Chris his ice cream cone.
What a dick.
What a dick, for sure. Fucking McDab. A lot of people don't know this, and it may have been kind of bewildering, which to me it wasn't when I learned this. But Kluwe had been playing since 2007 with a torn meniscus. Yeah. Why did this guy not get that taken care of? I do not know. Maybe it was just not bothering him. I don't know. But eventually, like Achilles, the old Roman warrior god, as you may have it, his discomfort caused by the condition that he had in his meniscus in late 2012 led to him finally deciding to have surgery during the offseason. But that was too little too late for Mr. Kluwe, as the Vikings had moved on by then, because during the 2013 draft, the Vikings drafted a punter by the name of Jeff Locke in the 5th round. Which I'm like, why the fuck do you draft a punter to begin with? I don't know. It's Rick Spielman. We'll get him back on the show to discuss that sometime.
Yeah.
So that move right there ultimately spelled the end for Kluwe punting in the NFL ever again. Only had 1 punt blocked while here, which is great. An amazing stat to have, because it seems like in the last 5 years we've had 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of Kluwe's being released had a lot, I think, to do with the tension in the locker room between him and Pryfer, and the comments that Pryfer had made. Because Kluwe is and was and continues to be a big advocate towards the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
And that may have rubbed some coaching staff the wrong way. And that might have led to his. And then also, it was Kluwe had also filed lawsuits on this matter as well, and had went on to write a book later on down the road. But I think that had a lot to do with it too. Probably forgot to keep his job and stay on staff for a couple more years, and Kluwe had been showing the door.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what, Chris? It's your week to redeem yourself because you're on Brunswick's Best, and you made the list.
All right.
Includes this week's list.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Thank you again, everybody. Stay tuned again next week for those players to wear number 6, as Lance will break that down. Do not forget, check out the main studio show Friday nights at 6 p.m. on the YouTube channel. And also check out our newest show, Monday nights, Rhino's Rants, where I take a look at the latest hot button issues and rumors and all that other kind of good stuff to break that down. So with that, everybody have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
SKOL.